let's talk about how to apply the table that we did in the last video. So I'm going to come down to problem number 1, and I'm going to write that we're going to find the amplitude, the period, the vertical shift, and the phase shift. We're going to find all 4 of these things. Now, one thing I don't like about the problems on this worksheet is they kind of drop some parentheses. So I would add these parentheses in. This is where your parentheses go to kind of help you see what's inside and outside. So let's start with amplitude. Go to our table. Amplitude is multiplying on the outside. So I go outside my parentheses and look for multiplying right there. So my amplitude is going to be 6. My period is multiplying on the inside. So I'm going to go inside my parentheses and look at what is multiplying on the inside of the parentheses. Well, that's 3. But be careful. Remember, period is always 2 pi divided by that number, which doesn't simplify. So it's just going to be 2 pi thirds. Now let's go to our new ones. Vertical shift. So I come up here. A vertical shift is when I'm adding or subtracting outside my parentheses. So I come to this problem, go outside my parentheses, and look right there. I'm adding 2. So this is going to be a vertical shift because it's adding or subtracting outside your parentheses. So positive 2. Now, if you just put positive 2, that is not full credit. And here's why. Vertical shift has a direction. So you must write the direction with it. So vertical shift, positive. If we go up to this right here, vertical shift, and it's positive. So this is going to move up. So if I come back to this problem, I need to either write up to show that direction, or if you want to, you can do an arrow. Either one is fine. But I need to see that you know this isn't just a +2. You know what direction that means. So if you don't have the direction attached to it, you will miss points. Okay, last one, phase shift. So come up here. Our phase shift is adding or subtracting on the inside of our parentheses. So I come over here and I go inside my parentheses. I am not adding or subtracting anything on the inside of my parentheses. So I'm just going to put none. Now, we will graph this, but we're going to do that in a later video. I just want you for now to practice finding all of these from your equation. So let's try number 2. Amplitude, period, vertical shift, phase shift. And let's try to fill these in. I'm not going to look back at the table this time. I want you to try to not look back at the table. Try to get these down. Amplitude is multiplying on the outside. Oh, sorry. Let's do this first. Once again, they forgot a set of parentheses. Told you I don't really like this worksheet because of that. So there is an extra set of parentheses right there. So that is all considered inside. Everything else is outside. Okay, now let's try again. Amplitude, multiplying on the outside. Well, if I look, I don't have a number that I'm multiplying on the outside there. However, what number is there? We just don't write it because we're lazy. There is always a secret 1 being multiplied. So our amplitude is actually that secret 1. And remember, we drop the negative until the very end. We'll come back to that negative later. Period is multiplying on the inside. So this 1/2 is being multiplied on the inside. 1/2 times x minus pi. So that's going to be our period. And remember, it's always 2 pi over what that number is, which in this case would be a leave, flip, change. Leave the numerator, flip the denominator, change it to multiply, so we get 4 pi. There we go. Vertical shift. Adding or subtracting outside the parentheses. Well, I look here, I don't have anything that I'm adding or subtracting to the outside. So this is none. Phase shift. Adding or subtracting on the inside of the parentheses. So I look inside, I am subtracting a pi. But same as last time, I need a direction to this. So I need to know what is the phase shift direction for subtracting. So if you need to go up to your table to look, your phase shift direction for subtracting is right. So you can either write, right, or do an arrow to the right. Okay, let's do one on your own. But I'm actually going to change the numbers on this problem because if you do it like it's written here, it gets really gross and weird fractions and things like that. So we are going to change this 8 right here to a 2 pi. We're going to change this pi thirds right here to a 3. And that's all and we're going to add this set of parentheses right here so that this is what's on the inside. Everything else is on the outside. And in this one that you're going to try on your own in just a second, you will actually have all 4. There's no none for this one. So I want you to pause the video, use what we've done in the past and your table that you made in the last video to try and fill this part in on your own. Ready, set, go. Let's see how you did. Here's our amplitude, which is 2. Our period is always 2 pi divided by that number inside. So 2 pi divided by 2 pi is just 1. Our vertical shift is subtracting on the outside, which is going to be down. Don't forget your direction. Our phase shift looks like it's subtracting on the inside, so that's going to be right. Okay, now that you've hopefully gotten pretty good at writing and finding these, in the next video we're going to take this stuff and actually graph it.